I spent a full day with the iPhone 16 base model going outside to take photos and comparing to the iPhone 15 to see if it was worth the upgrade. This year iPhone has improved over the last generation, with features like the camera bottom, new ultra-wide lens and better chipset, which I'll get into later. And there are things that did not improve. For now, let's start by unboxing. In the box, you get the phone and a long cable, which is like the previous generation. The first thing you notice is the camera placement in this version is different, and there's also a new camera bottom on the side. I also applied glass to the phone. I bought the glass from TORRAS, the sponsor of today's video. We'll talk about them later in detail. Apple claims they have a new type of glass that is 50% more resistant. I cannot confirm or deny the claim. We can all check the JRiggs Everything channel later to see if this claim is accurate. So, the iPhone 16 is an incremental change from the iPhone 15. Looking at both phones' front, you cannot tell the difference. The main difference lies in two things regarding design. If you look at the back, you will realize that this time Apple returned to a similar design to S24 or even the iPhone from years ago. They changed this to have a more compatible spatial recording for Apple Vision Pro. Don't ask me how I know it, but I know Apple has a big plans for next generation of Apple Vision Pro. The other big difference is that they added a dedicated camera button. Before I start to complain a bit here, my name is Mo, I do wedding and event photography on the side, and I use camera buttons on Xperia phones all the time. Also, I do tend to complain a bit more than other YouTubers. One of the reasons is that it is my character, and also I buy everything with my own money. So I'm not afraid that companies don't send me any free phones before launch. So like all of you, I signed the line to get my phone and I pre-order in advance. That said, the camera bottoms is one of the worst ergonomics I've ever seen on anything. It is way too low if you are using it one-handed in vertical mode. There is no way you don't hurt your thumb trying to use the bottom. It is just simply unusable in this mode. If you use this in the horizontal mode, it is way too high. And for example, you can see the difference in placement between Sony Xperia phones and the iPhone. Yes, you can use it to zoom into the subject, but from personal experience, you are better off just using the touchscreen and the circle for a better experience. The other problem is the bottom is really hard to press. It is not super snappy, and when you press it, there is a good chance that the camera moves. This is not a big issue when there is enough light, but if you shoot a photo in a low light situation, you are gonna get some motion blur. The other thing is, after using the button for half a day and taking hundreds of pictures, my thumb and fingers hurt a lot. This is one of those things that Apple is just putting on a phone to convince some people to buy it, and one of the things I have a hard time imagining Steve Jobs would approve of. I doubt many people are interested in this button anyway. It was for photographers like myself, and I think it is useless. If it passed these two changes, a lot will stay the same. The size of the iPhone 16 is identical to iPhone 15. The bezels are a bit narrower, but I don't think anyone can tell. The display is 60Hz, which is a slap in the face. At the same time, Apple is not dumb. They did their market research and know most people don't care about 60Hz display. In fact, I'm gonna do a user research myself now with Daria, a proud owner of a pink iPhone 15. Daria, what do you think about the phone having 60Hz display? iPhone 16 only has 60Hz display.
I think it's something bad.
Why?
I think a phone should have much more, right?
How much? Is it something you know, or do you something that you
No,
just guess?
it's just guessing.
Have you ever had a problem with your phone having 60Hz display? iPhone
To be
15?
honest, I've never heard it. I don't even know what's that. What's this?
Yeah, that was the whole point of
Oh my
the
God.
video. So you got your answer. Apple will keep producing phones with a 60Hz display and USB 2 in 2024 because most mainstream customers simply don't care about it. This way, Apple can save some money and differentiate the iPhone 16 Pro. This year's colors are bold again. I prefer the muted colors of last year, but it boils down to your preference. The main color of the year is purple. The purple is more bluish rather than red. Then you have a rather muted green, which is very unique. I would say the pink is super nice this year. I kind of regret that I didn't pick this up. Then there is white that I thought it is a bit too white, but it's a classic and will fit nicely with any case. Lastly, there is a black one. I don't necessarily recommend this color. I felt that even in a store, there were too many fingerprints on it, and it was super visible. The other big thing that Apple keeps talking about is Apple Intelligence. What I am saying has nothing to do with the engineers, but with Apple themselves since I have good friends working there. I think the product should have been ready for the iPhone 16 release, and the other problem with Apple Intelligence is that we don't even know which regions will get it in which capacity. For example, the EU has this new AI Act law that a lot of companies, including ours, are now affected, and we are trying to comply. But with Apple and the current EU lawsuits, it is not obvious if they can roll out this feature in EU. So just have that in mind. However, the upside is that Apple puts more RAM in, which is essential for machine learning and large language models because most of Apple Intelligence and serious stuff works inside the phone. They also put a new A18 chipset, which is 2 generations ahead of the last phone, which was A16. I will do a full battery and performance test next week, so subscribe if you are interested in that video. I did some photography and videography with the new iPhone 16, and I also compare it side by side with the iPhone 15. The main lens is the same as the previous generation. What changed is the ultra-wide lens. When it comes to portrait photography using the main lens, I will say the iPhone 16 on the left side did a slightly better job with the flare, and the colors are a bit more true to the tone. This picture shows the difference even more. I have always found the pictures of the iPhone 15 way too saturated, and I'm happy that iPhone 16 has solved this issue. Here you can again notice that the flare is handled better on iPhone 16 and that the colors are more neutral. The selfie camera is not that different. I just feel the iPhone 16 has more contrast compared to iPhone 15 in this specific shot. As I said, the main difference in the camera on the hardware side is the upgrade to the ultra-wide lens. Here in the low light situation, the difference is more visible. If you zoom into the picture, you will notice that iPhone 16 took a better shot than iPhone 15. Another photo that I took was taken in the normal mode, and you can see how yellow everything is in iPhone 15 compared to iPhone 16. And for night photos, again, the iPhone 16 did a much better job, whether it is in the ultra wide, normal lens, or 2x zoom. Almost all the modes are the same as the last generation. For example, you can take a video in cinematic mode, which creates an artificial depth of field for your subject. And it looks kind of nice for social media. You can also use the cinematic mode on the selfie camera, which creates kind of a vlogging, shallow depth of field for you. I don't know if you can hear me well, but I hope you do. This is also a sound test for iPhone 16. The image stabilization for video is amazing on iPhone 16, but pretty much all iPhones have great image stabilization. I took all of the videos that you see in the normal mode and not action mode. Unfortunately, still there is no manual mode, so I can't handle the shutter speed. And as you can see, the lights here are flickering because the shutter speed should be 150 for this video so the lights don't flicker in Europe. The video quality in low light and indoors is also high quality, and I like the colors that iPhone 16 is producing. There is something that they didn't fix though, and that's the green lights that appears indoor with reflection. I have no idea how these lights are being produced. Please let me know in the comments if you happen to have the same issue with your iPhone. Other than that, the photos are sharp with all 2 lenses, and the quality and white balance are nice. The slow motion is still only in HD, but it is up to 240 frames. Still, for me, it is not super useful since I create content in 4K. If you want to change the tone of the picture this year, the iPhone added filters that you can adjust while taking a picture. I don't think I'll ever use it, but it is there for people that are interested. In this video, all the pictures and videos that I took are in a standard mode, since I prefer that anyway. And this year, the photos are less saturated than in the previous model. Also, if you already bought a new iPhone 16, you should get a new case since the iPhone 15 case won't fit because of the new camera bottom. I recommend getting a TORRAS case. They are the sponsor of the channel, and I have been using their cases for years on both my iPhone and the Galaxy. One important thing about their cases is that it does not get yellow like other transparent cases. I have had one for a year now on my previous phone, and mine is still white. They have a nice camera cutout for the camera bottom, and there is a cute ring stand that you can use to put your phone on a table or hold it. They have other colors too. Just visit their website on Amazon and get one today. I link it to the description below. So should you upgrade to iPhone 16 from iPhone 15? I don't see a reason to do it. The Apple Intelligence is not here yet. If you already have the iPhone 14 or 13, just wait maybe for 17. I guess if you already have to upgrade, this year is another well-rounded incremental upgrade from Apple. I do like the new camera tone. Maybe you like the colors of the new design, so absolutely go for it. But all around, there is nothing groundbreaking about this one. I'm going to do a camera comparison with Daria to test iPhone 16 versus S24 versus Pixel 9 tomorrow, which you can watch next. I will put it here when it is available. Thanks for tuning into Tecmo. Please don't forget to like the video, it helps us a lot, and I will see you in the next one.